Hey, what's up guys? Nick here again at Full Spectrum Laser with just another tutorial on how to use RE3. Today we're going to go through the basic workflow of RE3. So just engraving a photo on a piece of material inside of your laser bed. Now what I've already gone and done is did an image capture of the laser bed. If you want to know how to do that, check out one of our other videos. It kind of goes through the process. It's simply using this icon here and following the on-screen procedures though. Just trying to keep these videos as short and to the point as possible. So if you have questions on how to capture the workspace, you can do that by checking out the other video. You can also connect to your Muse by just typing in the IP address, which is located on the LCD screen. We go over that in another video as well. Didn't want to bore you guys with those details. Just wanted to get right to the workflow. You can see how fast and easy this is. So all we've done is connected. We'll actually just refresh this so you can see exactly what it looks like when you type in the IP address. As you can see, your last image is still there if you even hit refresh. So real quick, we're just going to drag and drop a photo into our workspace. Here we've got some photos in my folder. I'm going to drag this one right over here. This one is a great size, already black and white and dithered. So what I'm going to do is actually, after drag and dropping, I'm going to position this over top of my material. Now, I'm actually going to take this photo and skew it a bit so I can fill up this entire piece of material. So I'm going to turn it just a little bit using that top button. As you can see, right on the top of your item here, you have this little white thing, which allows you to turn the design any degree you want. You can also type in the number of degrees you want it to be rotated right here. So I'm just going to have this maximize this square that we have right here. Now, yes, it distorted my photo just a little bit. But a lot of people do that with patterns and different shapes as they fill up their piece of wood. So as you can see, it's really easy to position this now. The next thing you do once you have your file in position is you want to adjust the settings. Now we're engraving on a piece of wood here. As you can see underneath, that is a wood block. I'll say Control Z to put that back. So with photos, we always want to adjust the resolution first. For photo engraving, I suggest 500 DPI, but depending on your application, you can go as low as 250 DPI. I use it all the time for solid fill engravings or logos, things like that. Or you can go up to 1000 DPI if you're really trying to do some detailed work or get some artistic flair in there. Next thing you want to do is look at your power and speed settings. As you're doing engravings, these are the two things that you'll run into for engravings. Power is how much power is getting from your laser tube, and then speed, obviously how fast laser's moving. What you'll notice is as you decrease speed, your overhang area here, indicated by this green area, will become bigger and smaller. That's because as you go faster, the laser needs more area to slow down to a stop and then speed back up. The reason why this area is there is so that the laser's always going the same speed when it starts your engraving and when it stops engraving, meaning that it's not slower at the end or faster at the beginning or anything like that. So as you can see, when the speed goes down, you need less time for the laser to slow down to a stop and speed back up to the current speed. Then you have these three settings here: blur, edge, and intensity. We go over those in another video. You can check that out in the same playlist that you found this video in if you want to learn how these things affect that. The next kind of file we're going to bring in here, which has a slightly different order of operations, is just a vector file. Now, we drag over this PDF of a box, which we'll just show has a slightly different parameters. You obviously still have this bitmap layer that comes in with a PDF. If you're just doing a vector cut, you can actually delete that layer if you want, or just ignore it by clicking on the visibility sign. But when you have a vector image like this box is, you actually have different parameters over here. You have speed, power, current, and the number of passes per color of vector line. So if you're going to cut something out like this box, again, you can just drag and drop it right in. But if you're looking to vector cut something or vector mark something, you'll actually be adjusting the parameters in this. Now, how do you get from back and forth parameters? It's really easy. RE3 does it for you automatically. So if you click on an engraving file, all your engraving parameters are up. If you click on a vector file, your vector engraving parameters are up there as well. From there, you're just going to go up to hit play to start your laser. Now, if you wanted to understand how long the job is going to take, you can hit the job estimate, which will actually go through and figure out the calculations, the different vector path, and the engraving time on those things. And down here in the bottom, you'll see this job will take about 27 minutes with the current speed and power settings applied to these. It's probably a little bit long yet because we have the speed down to 14 minutes. If we move this back up to something reasonable like, I don't know, I usually do engravings at 72 speed and 45 power. we'll do another estimate there, and you'll see the time will be much quicker by turning the speed up on your engraving, obviously. And just a couple seconds, you'll see that one already took 4 minutes off of there. So again, that's the basic workflow. All you have to do to run the job is hit run job, and by pressing play, it'll actually start doing the vector marking and cutting. Now, what I will do, just so you can kind of see the laser doing its work, is once the job is prepared and sent, I'm just going to go up and clear the last visual, which is going to take the picture away. And then as you can see right here, the laser is actually following this path to cut out this vector box. So you can see it's following the line right there, doing that vector line, going around doing this vector line. It's actually a little bit easier to see if I toggle the visibility off. As you can see, it's following those vector lines that were right there. And then as it gets over to the engraving, you'll see it passing back and forth over top the engraving, so you can kind of see the progress as you go. What's really great about RE3 though is as this job's going, you can actually come up over here and click Create New Project, and you have a fresh new workspace where you can actually set up your next job or begin designing using RE3. That's your basic RE3 workflow. I really hope this helped a few people out. They're having some confusing time getting your files loaded, but it's really that easy. A lot of people overthink this because most of the time using a laser, it's a little bit more complicated to get your jobs loaded into your laser software. Not with RE3, it's super easy. All you gotta do is, you can see, you can actually drag and drop multiple things. So if I wanted to grab this, this, and this, the other photo there is just a little big, I can actually drag all 3 things over at once. And lo and behold, check this out. I got 1, 2, 3 objects all loaded into the workspace. So RE3 really makes it as easy as possible to get going with your laser system and get cutting, engraving, and creating right away. Hope this helped everyone out. If you got any more questions or comments, leave them down below. Let us know what you'd like some help with. And as always, give us a subscribe and a like down below. And then here's some other videos to check out as you're learning how to use RE3. Hope this helped. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.